Testing, testing. Morron Aleopa. Good morning, everybody. Buenos dias, todo el mundo. Bonjour, and whatever the languages more are out there. Warm up. The kids are warming up. I'm gonna explain a little bit what we have now. This is the final. We only have the boys on the lanes. We have two different categories going on. We have the under 21 and we have the under 16. They are playing match play, PBA style, best of three. If you win the first two games, that's it. If there is a draw, then they're gonna have a one-shot roll-off. So it's not the 9th and 10th frame like we are used to in Europe and a little bit in older formats. It's just one shot. If they both strike or they keep having the same score, it goes on and on and on until one drops one pin more than the other. So welcome everybody. I hope everyone's gonna have a lot of fun. We have the best kids in the lanes, a lot of talent. And let's see what can we see. Mostly I would bet that we will see many games over 220, 230. So probably to win in two games, you probably need 480, 490. But let's see. It's a warm up. They have 10 minutes, and we will start with the action pretty soon. If you have any questions, if you want to do any comments, whatever, we are ready to follow the action. So, let's see a little bit. On lane 5, we have a match between Axton Sundberg and Willem Hulen. On lane 6, we have a match. It's gonna face Niels West and Rasmus Nordenson. On lane 7, Dante Niklasen is gonna face Kevin Falstrom. Lane 8, Valdemar Müller is gonna face William Viento. Moving on, lane 9, we have Erik Bjorksson is gonna face Melvin Roth. Lane 10, we have Charlie Rosender is gonna face Oscar Midden. Then on lane 11, Neo Heidhagen is gonna face Bigo Olander. On lane 12, we can find Carl Adolfsson is gonna bowl against Malte Peterson. On 13, we find David Beyerit against Lucas Heischel. We have a small interview with Lucas yesterday, explain he's living in Nässjö. So that's that might be one of the reasons he was so confident and bowling so good, but also very humble. Nice kid. Moving on, lane 14, we find Millie Lindgren, who's gonna bowl against Rasmus Olsson. Rasmus was quite impressive, I must say, yesterday. He was bowling very good squats over and over again, quite consistent, very high scoring and quite consistent. Moving on lane 15, we're gonna see a match between Elias Lin and Philip Strandgren. On lane 16, one of the kids I coached a couple of times back in when I lived in Mora. So it's gonna be Eskil Lind against Noah Strandberg. And finally, on the last cameras, on the right corner, we will have Felix Lung facing Simon Jansson on lane 17. On lane 18, we have Melvin Andersson, is facing William Klasborn. Then on 19, we find the Pergamon kid, Albin Gullstrand, is going to bowl against Måns Friberg. And finally, on lane 20, Erik Larsson is going to face Jonathan Johansson. So, I couldn't tell you if I have any favorite, or because there's quite a few of them that they have been so consistent and looking so good. So it's hard to bet on someone. Also, you know, bowling is a very particular game. One day it goes very good, and all of a sudden the next day it doesn't go that good, and you don't really know why or what happened. 3 minutes left of warm-up, and then we start with the matches. All right, warm up is over. Ready to begin with the matches. Remember, it's a best of 3. If you win the first 2 games, you advance to the next round. Now we only have the boys. It's the under 16 on one side of the alley, the under 21 in the other side of the alley. We remind you, you have cameras all over the bowling alley here in Olympia, so you can follow the streaming from lane 5, 6, 7, 8 all the way to lane 20. We can see already some of the guys shooting some strikes. Couple of them a little bit further outside than it was yesterday. Let me see. For example, I'm going to check on... Oh. Didn't make a shot. Hold on a second. Gonna have a look at lane 16, for example. We're gonna see his skill. We saw him bowl a lot yesterday, and he was throwing on fresh, somewhere around 18, 19 on the boards, somewhere around 11 on the breakpoint. Let's see where he's standing today. Oh, he's already a little bit deeper for his skill. Now he missed in. Ball was on 20, he hit the middle of the head pin, and he was lucky the 4s and 6 went down. Lane 15, we had Philip. Perfect strike, throwing somewhere around 18, 19. Now let's have a look at Rasmus on 14. The same thing, around 18 on the arrows. Now we're going to see Lucas on lane 13. Lucas was bowling very consistent as well. He was throwing the concept most of the time. Oh, around 14. He's a little bit further out. That was a very nice shot for him. Now we see Noah on 15. Very powerful guy. Throwing a little bit more to the right than the others. Around 17. Very high speed. A lot of power. Now we're going to see Noah. Around 14 as well. Very, very similar line that Noah used as Lucas Heischel on lane 13. Yeah, looks like some of the higher speed two-handers are slightly more to the right than they were yesterday. A couple of boards, not big, just a little bit. We're going to switch to, or I'm going to switch to 17, 18, 19, and 20, so I can see a little bit of action of the bowlers that I got to see yesterday, and I can compare a little bit what lines they're doing, and if they're a little bit deeper, a little bit further to the outside. Now I'm looking at lane 19. We have Team Pergamon, lefties, Albin Gullstrand, very talented two-handed, quite strong. It's one of the only ones using urethane. He's bowling on 12, and he missed a little bit inside, I'm guessing, because he hit the middle of the head pin. So either it read so early, because his body language was a little bit of a surprise, or he actually missed a little bit in. Now lane 19, we have William. Makes it very good as well. William Classborn, very nice release. He has a big, very big arm and a powerful wrist and release. And the same thing we could say about Simon. He does it very good. It looks very, very strong. Now, Melvin Anderson on lane 18. Somewhere around 14. Breakpoint was a little bit further than 10, probably around 8. and the ball was short in the pocket. 8-10 left. I'm surprised to see already a couple of bowlers with polished pearl ball, even if it's probably, I think it's the Ion Max Pearl. Even if it's a low RG, it's very fresh to be bowling a very shiny ball. It may be a little bit sensitive, but who am I to tell them, right? Okay, I'm gonna look around, go a little bit to the left side of the alley, see what the other kids are doing. I'm gonna let you know a little bit on 5 and 6. Axton Sundberg, he began with triple, and Niels West also, he began with a triple and a 9 spare. Then if we have a look at lane 8, we find Valdemar Müller with the front 4. Gonna move around, let you know. 9 and 10, Erik Jorsson, double, 9 spare, double. So what I can tell you already is that under 16 is the group on the left side of the alley. Under 21 is the group on the right side of the alley. On 13 and 14, it looks like we're going to have an interesting match between Millie Lindgren, spare triple 9, and Rasmus Olsson, front 4. And probably we could say the same again on lane 19 and 20. Erik Larsson, front 5. Jonathan Johansson, spare, triple. And that's spare and 4 in a row. So the match on lane 20 is pretty hot, it's on fire. The match on lane 17, it's also very hot. It was an open frame on frame 1 for Felix Lund and for Simon Jansson. But right after that, it's only strikes for them. Gonna go back to the left side of the alley. There was an open frame for Valdemar Müller. That's gonna give a little bit of peace of mind to his opponent, William Vianto, since he started with a front bugger and William have no strike yet. It's only sparing. And I can tell you, I see a little bit like what we've seen the previous days on the qualifying rounds. Those who are standing a little bit further outside, as soon as they miss their target to the right, they usually get the 210. And on the other hand, those that bowl a little bit deeper, when they miss to the right, they simply miss the head pin, or in a few frames, they're going to hit some of the friction that the bowler's bowling on the right. It's going to generate on the lane, and then the ball starts coming back, so the room gets bigger and bigger. That is also one of the reasons you don't really want to stay on the outside of the majority, because then you run off margin inside. They're gonna remove the oil. You can no longer find oil on the left of your target, and especially in this kind of pattern that is not really designed to bowl outside, it's not going to give you much room in any way. So back to the action. Let's see, lanes 9 and 10. Erik Yorkson is having a lead. He's got a double spare, triple spare strike, while Melvin Roth is just working on a double with an open frame, so it's 30 pins behind. On lane 10, Charlie Rosender, it's on par, actually 1 pin above par, but Oscar Miren is with 2 spares and a 5 bagger, so Oscar is about 37 pins on the lead. On lane 11, we have a tight match with a couple of open frames. 17 under for Neo, 28 under for Bigo. On lane 12, Carl Adolfsson, spare to split, but it's still no double for him. While Malte Peterson has a spare and a triple, so Malte is a little bit ahead. On the very beginning of the alley, on 5 and 6, we find Niels, we just had an open frame, so it's getting a little bit under, while Rasmus has strike spare and a 4 bagger. Rasmus has been very consistent, very consistent. He bowled at least I saw a couple of squats, and he was doing very good on both of them. Now on 7 and 8, we find Dante fighting against Kevin Fastrom. At the moment, Kevin had an open frame and 1 double, while Dante has 1 single pin miss, but a double and a triple, so he's 20 pins ahead. On lane 8, Boildemar Müller is also 22 pins ahead of William. And we're going to move all the way to the right side, let you know a little bit what goes on. Lane 20, Eric Larsson, he had the front 6 and 9 spare. Jonathan had the 9 spare on frame 1, 5 in a row and 8 spare. So Eric is 11 pins ahead. Lane 19, Albin seemed to have found his spot, 9 spare, triple, while Mons is with a couple of open frames. So Albin is about 40 pins ahead. Lane 18, Melvin Andersson, 7 over par, while his opponent William, it's on 18 over par, so 11 pins lead for William on this game. On 17, Felix Lung on 137 as well on the 6th frame, so 17 over. And Simon Jansson is 124, so it's 4 over. 13 pins lead for Felix over there. Lane 15, they're doing a lot of strikes. The same thing in 14. Rasmus Olsson is doing a lot. But Elias Lind and Philip Strandgren, they are fighting on a very high scoring pace. They're both over 250. If they strike out, actually, it's going to be a 269 against 279. And they are already on the 9th frame. Notice, excuse me, notice that the format is, they're not bowling American style. They only throw in shots in one lane, and they're only carrying about one lane. It should be a little bit easier, because it should be even a little bit easier if they want to play some kind of strategy. Do I want to try to open up the lane for myself, or do I want to make the lane a little bit tougher for my opponent? I had the cameras open on 15 and 16. Unfortunately for Elias, he had the big split on the 10th frame that pretty much guarantees game 1. It's going to be for Philippe Stangren. He's trying to strike out for 279. I got the solid tip, but it's more than enough. Even if he doesn't spare, he's already in the 247. 246 if he doesn't spare, but that's enough to get the point. I'm gonna go around. The games are almost done, so I'm gonna see those lanes that are already finished. I'll let you know. On 9 and 10, Erik Hjortsson, 236 against Melvin Roth. So the first point is for Erik. Then we fight Charlie Rosender, lost against Oscar Miren. Oscar striked out. He missed my attention, 278. So the point goes for Oscar. Then between Neo and Bigo, the point's going to go for Neo, even with a little bit of a low game. Let's see other lanes that are almost done. Yeah, the match that we were talking previously, Elias and Philippe. Philippe's going to take the first point, 258 against 232. Some other matches are a little bit more delayed. Lane 20, Erik Larsson just got an open frame on the 9th, and Jonathan made it double. So even if Erik strikes out, that's going to be 245. But yeah, he needs to strike out, and then it would force Jonathan to get like a 9 spare. Otherwise, it's game over. And lane 19, same thing. It looks like it's game over on this game 1. Albin is striking a lot, while Mons is still with a couple of open frames and no double. Another split for Erik on lane 20. So that guarantees point number 1 for Jonathan. Moving along on lane 17. A very nice game finish for Felix Lung with the last 7. And that's 256 for him. And that puts the point on his score, because Simon Janssen could have a max of 234. On lane 18, it was very, very tight between Melvin Andersson and William Klasborn. Only 2 pins. Both of them had strikes on the 9th, but Melvin just left the 7-10. So that means that William now only needs to shoot 9, and the point will be in his pocket. Now I see other games are finished on lane 6. Niels, 219 with the last 5. Very well done. It's forcing Rasmus Norderson to have to double on the 10th. He has the first one. Let's see if he can get the second one. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. That was a very good shot. Not feeling any pressure. That puts Rasmus with 216 and the 12th frame to go, so he needs to take 4 pins at least to be leading and take that first point. And he does another strike, so Rasmus takes the point. In 7 and 8, the point ended up being for Dante, but it was quite close. It wasn't a huge difference between them. And on lane 5, Axton, he started with a triple, but then he had 5 and 3, 9 spares, 6-2, 9 spares, 6-3. I don't know if he found some kind of weird change on his lane, or is it a little bit of pressure? Hard to judge when it's just from the camera, and I haven't really followed the whole game because I'm trying to follow the action all around the alley. Excuse me. The last games to finish is going to be 13 and 14 between Miley and Rasmus. Rasmus going to take the point, 238 against 214. And on lane 13, they beat Bejerit, ended with 216. And Lucas already has beaten that score. Takes a spare on the 10, so he's looking for a 240. And he's gonna have the win on game 1. The last game to to end is gonna be on lane 16 between Iskil and Noah Strandberg. Currently, Iskil is 2 pins ahead, and he just made a strike on the 10th. So he's looking for a strike and a 9 to secure the victory on this first match. So lane 16, so let's see what Iskil is going to manage to do now. As I said, he needs a strike and 9 to secure the first match point. And he got a perfect. He's deeper than he was throwing at the beginning of the game. If you remember, the beginning of the game was around 18 to 20. This shot was already around 23. So I'm going to wait to see what he does on the very last shot. He needs 9 to secure the point, so it doesn't really give you room to test anything for the next game. You just have to keep striking. 22 on the arrows, and exactly 9. It showed the 4-6, but it's only the 6 pin left. 193 for him. And if Noah strikes out, it's going to be 192. So that secures the first match for Iskil. And we have all the matches completed on game 1. So I'm going to give you a quick review in about 45 seconds. Just give me a second. I forgot, there's another match almost done, lane 12, between Carl Adolfsson and Multi. Multi needs the mark, and that shot was on the left side. It actually showed the 9 and the 10, which would have been a weird split on a Brooklyn shot. But it's only the 10 pin. He needs to spare. If it doesn't spare it, we're going to have the first tie. So let's see what Multi can do in lane 12. And he missed. So we have a tie. 184, 184. So we're going to have the first roll-off on lane 12 between Multi and... Yeah, true, Carl Adolfsson. So lane 12, roll-off. bowling pace is so different for some of them.
Yeah.
They are on the roll-off, and some of them are almost done with the second game. Okay, roll-off. Ooh, 10 pin. 10 pin. It looked good. It was slightly soft, slightly weak 10. It's a lot of action happening, but I'm focused on that roll-off on lane 12. If he gets a strike on lane 12, he gets the match. With an 8, he loses. With a 9, we go for another shot. And he gets the strike. So we have a winner with a tie. Okay, I'm gonna make a quick update on the under 16 match 1 between Willem Hulen and Axton Sandberg. First match was for Willem. On match 2, Rasmus Norderson is winning 1-0 against Niels West. On match 3, Kevin Falstrom, he took the point against Dante. On match 4, Mueller took the match against William. Match 5, Eric took the match against Melvin. On 6-1, Oscar Miren took the match against Charlie Rosender. Match 7, Neo beat Bigo. And on match 8, we just had the roll-off. So Motti took the match against Carl Adolfsson. Now, we're gonna see what's the status on the under 21. The tournament leader, Lucas Heischel, has took the first match against David Bejerit. On match 2, Rasmus Olsson is beating Mille Lindgren 1-0. Same thing for Philip Strandgren against Elias Linth. Iskil is also on the lead 1-0 against Noah Strandberg. Felix Lung has beaten Simon Jansson. William Klasborn has beaten Melvin Andersson. Albin won the match against Mans. And on the last pair, Jonathan Johansson beat Erik Larsson. So, it's best of 3. So, we have to see. Some of the guys are already quite ahead on game 2. Actually, Eric is already done with. Eric and Melvin, they just tied on game 2, 196 against 196. So that means we have another roll-off. That's gonna be in lane 9. So if you want to see the action, cameras on lane 9, because the first shot of the roll-off. Ooh, that's an expensive one. 6. Now you just grab the spare ball, hit the head pin. That's unlucky also. I mean, you hit the head pin. It could have been a 9, but you take a 6 when it's a roll off. You won't be happy. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Needs a 7, and he gets a strike. So he's got the point. Let me go around. Some of the people is bowling really fast. Charlie Rosender, 198 on game 2. Oscar Miran is not going to make that much. So that means Charlie Rosender is tight. So it's 1-1 on that match. They're going to have to go to the third game. I'm going to move to lane 5 and 6, Axton Sandberg, front 5. William, spare, triple spare. Let's see. Lane 7 and 8 already entering the 10th frame as well. Dante is 4 pins behind. Kevin has a strike on lane 7. Kevin won the first match. So if Kevin wins this one, it's game over. So 169 for Dante. That means Kevin Falström just needs a mark and he will advance to the next round. We will try to catch up with those matches that are close to the end so we can have a little bit of control of what we're doing. Kevin has a strike, so Kevin is the first one to move on into the next stage. On lane 8, they are also entering the 10th frame. Valdemar Müller, it's on his pace to 180. It pretty much is, it's almost done on that particular game. William's gonna take the win, and I believe William has lost the first match, right?
Where are we?
Against Valdemar Müller.
Yes, Valdemar is up 1-0.
So they're gonna be 1-1 now.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I have my buddy Victor working out here. He's still a little bit silent because he has a lot to do with the computer and stuff. So I don't get lost with all the action on the lanes. But thank you, buddy. I wouldn't be able to know what I'm doing here. So that one's gonna be tight. Dante and Kevin, we already spoke about. Let's see if we have any other lane that's quite advanced. Neo and Bigo, what was the result? Neo is gonna take the match this time. So Neo is gonna go on. Yeah, Neo is gonna win 2-0 against Bigo. And let's move a little bit more to 15-16, lane 15. It's entering the 10th frame. Elias and Philip. Philip Strongren had won the first match. And it's 5 pins ahead entering the 10th frame. But Elias has a strike and Philip has not on the 9th. Ooh, that's a lot of speed for Elias. That was a bit short, bit light in the pocket. So it's the big bucket there. So with the spare and strike, Elias would make 208. And yeah, Philip is 5 pins ahead. So Elias really needed that double. And that really leaves the door open for Philip to take a 9 spare 9, and that would be enough. And now even more, because he just missed. He missed the spare. So 196, unless I'm wrong in my numbers. No, even less. 78, 84. Yeah, 196. So 196, that means Philip just needs to hit the head pin and is gonna advance to the next round. Then goes Philip, lane 15, 10 pin, enough. That's already 201, so Philip Strandgren advances to the next round. More matches that are reaching the 10th frame. We find on lane 19 and 20, they're almost done. Eric Larsson, 189. That means Eric is going to be out as well. Jonathan took the first point, unless I'm wrong. Yeah, and he's going to take this one as well because he has already more pins in the score before the 10th frame. Moving to the left of them on lane 19, Albin needs to strike out to stay alive on this particular game. If he strikes out, it's a 236, but Mans with a strike and spare would make 237. Albin took the first match, so it could be a tight. On lane 18, Melvin Andersson striking a lot at the moment, looking for a 267 with one more. But William took the first match, so they're gonna be tight. It's gonna be a 1-1. On the other hand, on lane 17, it looks like Felix Lund is gonna advance with a 229, 230 if he strikes. But Simon Jansson is a little bit lower. Yep, 267 for Melvin Andersson. The match is tied, 1-1 now. 230 for Felix Lund. And Felix is going to take the match against Simon Jansson. It's 2-0 for them. Now, let's pay attention to lane 19 with Albin and Mans. Albin needs a strike on the 12, which he gets, 236. That means if Mans now makes a 9, then he needs to strike to tight. But on the other hand, if Mans strikes, he has all the chances to win that match just by one pin. And then they're going to have to go and bowl the third game. Let's see what goes on. Lane 19. Mans. Ooh! A late 9. A very late 9. Now he just needs a spare. And then it would be 237. So he would be winning the match, and that's all that matters. So they can go to the next one. There will be some empty lanes now, obviously, because some of the bowlers have already win the 2 matches they needed to win. But those who have not, they're going to carry on and bowl that third match to see who is the one advancing. Now, Mans. Ooh, look at that. A very tough 5. A super big bucket in there. And he needs the spare. He needs the spare to secure the point. If he chops and it takes 4 instead, they're going to have to do the roll-off. And if he takes 3, it's game over. Oh, yo. Nice way to get it, yeah. Okay, they're going to have to bowl the last, the third. Let's move around. Elias lost the match against Philip. I believe Philip has won 2-0. David Bayrit losing the game against Lucas Heischel, 2-0. Over here, Iskil is about 14 pins lead against Noah. And the match between Miley Lindgren and Rasmus Olsson. Looks like it's going to be in favor for Rasmus as well. Okay, Noah Stromberg, lane 16. He needs a strike. He missed a little bit out. That break point was far to the right. Left the 210. Okay, Noah against Iskil is getting almost done. He got a split on the 9th. And Iskil is 30 pins ahead with just the 10th frame. So that's going to mean Iskil is going to pass. He's going to advance. Noah Strandberg is not going to make it. Okay, that's a weird 6 for Iskil. But if he takes 2 pins of those, that's enough already. That puts him on 198, while Noah could only reach 197. Moving to the left side, again, Axton, 226 with a spur. Willem, it's if Willem strikes, could win the match. With a 9 spur strike, they would tie, they would be a draw. So important frame for Willem on lane 5. He needs a strike to stay alive. Lane 5, Willem, lefty, single-handed, and he gets a strike. Nice. So Axton and Willem, I think they're going to be 1-1. Aha, Willem has won the first match. Okay, then I'm wrong. Willem is going to take... he's going to advance. I thought that Axton had won the first one, but I was wrong. That's why I have Victor in here, so I don't get so confused. Okay. Many matches decided, many matches yet to decide. We have to wait a few seconds to see which lanes keep having some action. And we have match 3 on lane 6 between Rasmus Nordenson and Niels West. We have match 3 between Valdemar Müller and William Vianto. Valdemar Müller is leading by 30 pins, more or less. Niels is ahead by 10. Yeah, some guys are really fast. Oscar Miren, he just won the match 2-1 against Charlie Rosender. And another game 3. We have game 3 as well on lanes 18 and 19. Strike spur 7 for Melvin Anderson. Strike spur for William Clasborn. That's the match on lane 18. Strike, spare strike for Albin on lane 19. Open frame strike, 9 spare for Mans Friberg. And the other match that's happening on lane 6. Nice strike for Niels. That's a double, actually. Strike, spare, double for Niels. That's putting him 22 ahead. And a miss for Müller. A miss for Müller. Ooh, solid 7 for Rasmus. And on lane 8, William Vianto. He needed a few strikes. He still had a chance, but now it's looking a little bit tougher. So it looks like most likely on lane 8, Baltimore Müller is going to go on. The match on lane 6, still a few frames to go. But so far, Niels is ahead. And lanes 18 and 20, Melvin Andersson is 1 mark ahead of William. And Albin, also with the double, is 11 pins ahead of Mans. Nine spare for Melvin Andersson, lane 18. A little bit deep for Albin on lane 19. 5 and 6, Niels trying to get the 4th. 10 pin for him, but still quite a few pins ahead than Rasmus. It's actually, let me tell you, 34 pins ahead with 4 frames to go. That's Niels against Rasmus. Now on lane 18. Oi, oi, oi. That's a washout again for William Klasburn. And a double for Mans on lane 19, trying to put some pressure back into the shoulders of Albin Gullström. Let's see. Can William take the spare of the washout? Oh, that's a beautiful way to get it. Stay alive, only 1 mark behind the opponent. Albin, lane 19. Bang. All down. I'm going to go back quickly to our match of the under 16 on lane 5 and 6. Rasmus just made a double, put some pressure back into Niels. Niels, 4 pin, a little bit deep in the pocket, claps his hands. He's putting himself like, come on, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. It's getting tighter now. It's still 24 pins ahead for Niels, but Niels is working on a spare. Rasmus has a strike. So that could make it 14, and they still have a couple of frames to go. So it's a very interesting match on lane 6 for these couple of young guys, Rasmus Nordenson and Niels West. There goes Niels for the spare. He takes it. Mans got the triple on lane 19, is now actually with a potential 1 pin lead against Albin. There goes Albin. Bang. Another strike. Back to the young ones, 5 and 6. Another strike for Rasmus. This is getting very interesting on this couple of matches. I need a bigger screen for the both things to see. Okay, let's see. Lane, hold on. Lane 19. Mans looking to keep the action. And he gets it. 1 pin lead. Both of them working on strikes. All the way back to lane 5-6. Strike also for Niels. It's 11 pin lead for Niels at the moment at the 9th frame. I can smell a roll-off. I can smell it. It smells from up here. It's a roll-off coming. Again, there we go. Lane 6. Rasmus Nordenson. There he goes. Does he get it? Oh, deep in the pocket. 4-7 left. That opens the door. Really, really much for Niels. Due to the count, Niels is 13 pins ahead and has a strike on the 9th. So all he has to do is strike on the 10th. Now back to lane 18. Melvin Anderson got the double. William needs to do something. The ball now was deep in the head pin. The first one, the previous one was a washout. Now it was deep in the head. And now we're back in the action on lane 19. Albin got one more. Can Mans follow him? Yes, he does. Splitting the 8 and the 9. Still 1 pin lead for Mans. That is a very, very interesting match now. Let's see what Niels can do on lane 6. He needs a strike to close this. 4-9 and both of them down. If the 4-9s had stood there, that was a huge chance for the opponent, for Rasmus. But instead of that, he got the strike. Looks like Niels is going to be the one to advance. Now let's see what Albin can do. And another one, a little bit lighter, but he's got it. And a solid 9 for Niels. That's going to put him on a 226. So he's in. Niels is going to make it to the next round. Congratulations to both. Rasmus bowled impressively as well. That was a very, very nice match. And one more for Mans. This is super, super, super tight now on this lane 19. It's only 1 pin between them. They're both striking like machines. So anything can happen. William trying to come back. He gets a Brooklyn. He doesn't really know what's going on the lane. When he moves the ball a little bit out, it's not coming back. When he stays a little bit in, the ball is hooking a little bit early for him. Albin entering the 10th frame. Oh my. That is very expensive. Very expensive. Albin left 4, 6, 7, 10. Not only almost impossible to spare it, but the pin count is very, very expensive. And it takes 3. That's a very well effort. Unfortunately for him, that leaves a very open window for Mans. All he has to do now is just hit the head pin, get 9. 8 pins even is enough. He doesn't even need to spare. There goes Mans. 4 pin. That's perfect. That's enough. That's going to make it for him. He's going to go on into the next round. Congratulations to both of them as well. Very, very good match. High quality bowling. Now, Melvin Anderson looking to get stronger. Light to the pocket, 7 pin left. But he's 30 pins ahead of William. And William is not finding the pocket. Good spare. Very important. So he remains 32 pins ahead. If William wants to fight this match, he needs to find a way to start striking right away, especially find the pocket, because he hasn't found the pocket for the last 3 or 4 frames. It feels like he has moved a little bit deeper for his standing position compared to the previous shot. Yes, he did. But he couldn't get the ball in the pocket again. "32 pins down, 9 and 10th frame left only. He needs a lot of strikes, and he also needs Melvin not to strike and perhaps even to have an open frame. But if Melvin puts a strike here, it's almost game over. "75, 95, or 94, 203. 9-0. 9-0 on the 10th for Melvin forces William to strike out. So that means if William doesn't strike on this next shot, it's going to be game over. Yeah, there you go. He found the pocket. It's never too late. Okay. If Melvin strikes or takes a mark, it's going to be game over. A little bit risky. Left the 4-7. Needs the spare. If he takes a spare, he's going to advance into the next round. We will carry back with the action as soon as the lanes are dressed, right? So you have time, guys, to go grab some coffee, maybe some croissant, go to the toilet. Those that smoke a quick cigarette, and come back home. Because the action is carrying. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. That's not what he wanted to do. 202. Now the door is completely open for William. If he strikes out, he's going to make it. Yeah, that's the last thing I wanted at the moment, a roll-off. Okay, there goes William. Light in the pocket. He never made it back. So Melvin Andersson is going to advance into the next round. Stay tuned. We will be back very, very soon with round 2.
Så går de topp 8 vidare här då till nästa omgång och klockan 5 kört igång och vi mattar in alldeles strax så kommer även tjejerna in. Tävlingen börjar alltså 10.35 och så startar vi 10.45. Så en liten paus nu innan vi kör igång.